Welcome to Unstoppable You Now, a place where we discover the profound strength hidden within our deepest and darkest struggles. Once upon a time, there were two inseparable birds named Far and Near, soaring through the endless skies together in harmony. They were true soulmates, sharing every single sunrise and sunset, believing that nothing in this world could ever tear them apart. Their flight was a perfect symphony, a testament to a friendship that went beyond mere companionship and touched the very soul. But nature is unpredictable, and one fateful afternoon, the sky turned black as a violent and terrifying storm suddenly descended. The wind howled like a beast, tearing through the forest, separating the flock, and throwing the world into absolute chaotic darkness. Amidst the chaos, Near saw young chicks in danger, and, without hesitation, dove into the heart of the storm to help. He managed to save the innocent lives, but a cruel gust of wind seized him, dragging him into the abyss. Far screamed his name into the roaring wind, but her voice was swallowed by the storm as he vanished completely. When the sun finally rose on a broken world, Far searched every corner of the forest, refusing to believe the truth. She found only a single golden feather caught on a jagged rock, a silent confirmation that her other half was gone. The reality of the loss shattered her heart, and the vibrant colors of the world faded into a dull, gray monochrome. Far stopped flying completely, grounding herself in misery, believing that moving on would be an insult to her lost friend. She felt that feeling joy again was a betrayal, so she locked herself in a cage of sorrow and silence. Seasons changed around her, but Far remained frozen in that moment of loss, her spirit withering away with each passing day. She pushed away anyone who tried to help, convinced that her pain was the only thing keeping her connected to Near. She convinced herself that the sky was no longer a home, but a vast graveyard that had stolen her happiness. To her, the open air was not freedom anymore. It was a cruel reminder of what had been taken from her. One day, an old hawk, scarred by many storms, landed beside her, watching her silence with a wise and knowing gaze. He spoke softly to her, saying that grief is a heavy stone, but we are not meant to carry stones forever. He told her, "Pain does not stop us from flying, my child. It is clinging to the pain that grounds us." Far argued that flying would mean leaving her friend behind, letting go of the memory that she held so very dear. The hawk shook his head and said, "You do not fly to forget him. You fly to carry him with you." He explained that every beat of her wings could be a tribute to the one who could no longer fly himself. Left alone with these words, Far looked at her dusty wings and felt a strange flicker of life stir within her. Suddenly, a sharp cry for help broke her meditation. A young bird had fallen and was trapped in the thorny bushes. A predator was approaching the helpless creature. Fear gripped Far's heart, reminding her of the tragedy she had already witnessed. But in that moment of fear, she remembered Near's bravery and realized that standing still would only lead to more regret. She took a deep breath, summoning a strength she thought was gone, and spread her wings wide against the stagnant air. Her first dive was clumsy and heavy, her muscles protesting after months of inactivity, but she refused to give up now. With a fierce cry, she found her rhythm, swooping down with the speed and precision that she and Near once shared. Just as the predator struck, Far snatched the little bird to safety, feeling the rush of wind beneath her wings again. She placed the trembling chick back in its nest, and as it looked at her with gratitude, something inside her healed. Standing high above the ground, she realized she wasn't flying to escape her pain, but to serve a greater purpose. She felt Near's presence not in the sorrow of the past, but in the strength of the wind lifting her up. Far understood now that someone needed her strength more than they needed her sadness, and that gave her a reason. She soared higher than ever before, carrying the memory of her friend as fuel for her journey, not as an anchor. From that day on, Far became a guardian of the sky, turning her personal tragedy into a legacy of hope. She taught the younger generation that while storms are inevitable, the courage to fly through them is a choice we make. She no longer waited for the pain to disappear to start living. She lived purposefully alongside the pain, transforming it daily. We often think we must be fully healed to be useful, but our deepest wounds can become the source of power. When you find a purpose that is bigger than your sorrow, you discover a strength that you never knew you possessed. Do not let your grief become a grave. Let it be the garden where your new purpose begins to bloom. Life will knock you down, and you will lose things you love, but you must find a reason to rise again. The best way to honor those we have lost is to live a life full of meaning, courage, and compassion. Your song is not over just because the melody changed. You simply need to find the new rhythm of your life. Carry your loved ones in your heart, not as a weight that holds you down, but as wind beneath your wings. You are capable of incredible things, even when you are broken, because the light shines brightest through the cracks within us. If you are suffering today, look around you. There is someone who needs your specific brand of strength and survival. Find that purpose, hold on to it tight, and let it pull you out of the darkness and into the light. You are not defined by the storms you encounter, but by the courage you show when navigating through the rough turbulence. The storm will pass, the sun will rise, and you will fly again, stronger and wiser than you were before. Legacy is not about what we leave behind, but about how we help others move forward while we are still here. So spread your wings, embrace your journey, and trust that you have everything you need to overcome any obstacle ahead. Your story is far from over. In fact, the most beautiful chapter is just waiting for you to write it. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey of loss, healing, and the rediscovery of our true inner power. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to help us spread this message to others. Remember, you are unstoppable, and your potential is limitless if you choose to keep moving forward, despite the heavy odds. This is Unstoppable You Now, signing off. Stay strong, stay brave, and keep flying.